Good morning students, myself Jyoti Rathore. I am here to teach you social science for class 9th. I am from New Catholic Mission School, Jhabua. So students, first of all, how are you all? I know, from last 2-3 months, you all are staying inside along with your family. We all were there, like that was the situation, we can't help it at all. Because this COVID pandemic, that was really a serious problem. But don't worry students, we will not allow your studies to suffer. So we teachers make some videos for you and definitely these videos will help you a lot. So go ahead and just don't stop learning. Okay? So without wasting any more time, let us continue. So student, this year for social studies class 9, CBSE is following NCERT books. So first of all, I just want to tell you about your books. Okay? This year you have these 4 books. The name of your books is India and the Contemporary World, Part 1. Contemporary India, this is your Geography book, Part 1. Democratic Politics, and you have your Economics book. These 4 books you have to follow. Right side, marks distribution is given to you. This is according to your annual exam blueprint. So don't worry about it just now. Now, see. This slide, I have some of the lessons which are written here. These are your deleted chapter. Recently, I think you all have heard that CBSE has deleted your 30% portion. So these are the lessons which are deleted from your portion. This also I am going to tell you. From your history, lesson number 2, 4th and 5th is deleted. 2 is completely deleted, but this 4th and 5th one, any one lesson will be taught. This much is clear. Now we have our geography, lesson number 3, drainage. This is deleted. Complete chapter except map item which will be assessed in the examination. This is according again to your annual exam. Only maps. Now, in our democratic politics, lesson number 2 and lesson number 5. Lesson number 5 is complete chapter is deleted. Lesson number 2, democratic constitution in South Africa only. Only this topic is deleted, not rest of the chapter. Now we have economics, food security in India, lesson number 4. This chapter is completely deleted. So don't worry, this chapter you don't have to study at all. Okay? Now, so children, without wasting any more time, let us continue our chapter. Our chapter number 1 is India's size and location. From geography, first chapter we are going to study today. In this chapter, I have divided whole chapter into 4 parts. First one is your location. So location of India will be discussed here. These points are there. India lying entirely in northern hemisphere. See, this term northern hemisphere, I don't think so term is new for you. I just draw a diagram and let you explain. See, this is globe. Here we have 0 degree, this is equator, okay. From this equator, this area is northern area and this is counted as northern hemisphere. This area is southern hemisphere, okay. Position of our India is lying somewhere here. This is a rough diagram which I have drawn. Position of India is here. So India is lying entirely in northern hemisphere, okay. Now, second point is the mainland extends between latitudes and longitudes. Actually children, what are these latitudes and longitudes? This also let me explain. Here it is written for you, latitudes are horizontal lines and longitudes are vertical lines. Okay, so here when we see latitudes are there and longitudes are there. Okay, position of India is here. Some lines are drawn. Okay, this side, this side, this side. Then here also we have some lines. Now, these lines actually, they are drawn only on maps, only on globes. These are imaginary lines which are drawn. And this is drawn just because from this 0 degree, we have to show that how much distance is there. That is why these lines are drawn. In the same way, if we are assuming here as 0 degree, so these lines are drawn. Same lines are here in our map also. Now, when it is written there that latitudes are horizontal line, this is 8 degree 4 minutes north. As I told you, our India is lying entirely in northern hemisphere. So 8 degree 4 minutes. When position of India is here somewhere, so when we see this is 8 degree 4 minute latitude, okay, then we have 37 degree and 7 minutes. This side when we see, we have 37 degree and 7 minutes. In the same way, eastern area when we see, 68 degree 7 minute east and 97 degree 25 minutes east. This side and this side. Okay students, so this is position of our country. This map also you can see. See, from this 0 degree, when we go little up, this is nearly about 8 degree 4 minutes. When we see from here, this is 40 degree and this one is 37 degree 6 minutes. In the same way, from this 0 degree, when we move, this is position of our country. Okay, so this is overall position. So I think so these 2 points are clear now. Now, our third and important point is the Tropic of Cancer. The Tropic of Cancer divides the country into 2 equal parts. Tropic of Cancer is 23 degree and 30 minutes north. To explain this point, let us see India's map. Okay, here we see this line is called as Tropic of Cancer. Understood? Now this Tropic of Cancer is dividing our whole country into 2 equal parts. And you can see here also, it is already clear that these 2 points, these 2 divisions are there according to this Tropic of Cancer, and these states are there from this Tropic of Cancer passes through. Many times in your objective type question, remember this question is asked that which are the states from which this Tropic of Cancer passes through. So clearly visible in our map that these are the states from where this Tropic of Cancer passes through. Now students, next point is the southeast part of India lays in the Andaman and Nicobar Island and in Bay of Bengal, and the southwest part lay in Lakshadweep Island in Arabian Sea. Again, to make this point much more clear, I just have to show you map. See here. This side, because our India is covered from 3 sides from this water bodies, it is already covered. This side we are having Bay of Bengal. This side we are having Arabian Sea. Okay, eastern side, western side, and these 2 island bodies are there. In this Bay of Bengal we have this Andaman and Nicobar, and this Arabian Sea we are having Lakshadweep Islands. For this geography, actually students, it is very important you have to go through map. With the help of these maps, everything will be clear to you. Now, up to here students, this is all about location of our country. And I think so with the help of these points, you just come to know that where our India is located. Now our next point would be size of our country. When we are considering size, first we have to see the landmass of India has an area of 3.28 million square kilometers. This much huge area, huge geographical area we are covering. Let me explain. If we are thinking that 1 million is equal to 10 lakh, so for this 3.28 million square kilometer, if we are converting into lakhs, this would be the answer. You just multiply this 3.28 with this 10 lakhs. So what answer we are getting? We are getting 32.8 lakhs. Either 32.8 lakh or 3.28 million square kilometer, this is equal. Now our next point is India's total area is 2.4% of the total geographical area of the world. So, for example, this is whole world Okay, and if we are considering our country as 2.4, this is supposed to be 100%. Okay, our country situation is only 2.4%. Overall world's area, we are having 2.4%. Now, India is the 7th largest country of the world. Okay, see this. This is a bar diagram I have taken, and this is given in your books also. When we are thinking position of our India, that how large India is, first we have, according to world's position, first we have Russia, then we have Canada, then USA, then China, then Brazil, then Australia, and then situation of India comes. So India is the 7th largest country of the world. If this question asks that which is the 7th largest one, so India is there, and these are the countries which are larger than India. India has a land boundary of about 15,200 kilometers and a total length of coastline according to the mainland including Andaman, Nicobar and Lakshadweep. This is 7,516.6 kilometers. So this one, 15,200 kilometers. This let me explain you. With the help of this one, this map, let us see. From here, these are the land boundaries. If we are starting like this, and we are coming up to here. This is the total land boundary. This is nearly about 15,200 kilometers. Okay. When we are considering our coastline beginning from here up to here. Okay, this is coastal area. Coastal area means the areas which are covered by water bodies. They are coastal areas. So in this coastal area, student, Lakshadweep also included, Andaman Nicobar also included. Length of both the islands are included. So according to that, we have total length boundary of 7,516.6 kilometer, and we have land boundaries of 15,200 kilometer. This concept is clear. These two things, you just have to by it heart. Okay? Now, India is bounded by the Yangfold Mountains in the northwest, northern region and northeast. See this map once again. This whole area, this much area, these are the mountain areas, and this is almost covered with mountain. This is northern area. Clear? From eastern side also, from western side also, it is covered with mountain. And the term Yangfold is used here. Actually, all the things are clearly explained in your chapter 2, but let me explain you a little bit. See, nearly 328 million years ago, what happened? There was a Tethys Sea. An ocean was there. From this ocean, actually at that time, almost all the country region, they were together. That was a supercontinent named as Pangaeas. This side we were having ocean, clear. This side we were having land boundaries, and this side also we were having land boundaries. This was Eurasian plate and this was Gondwana land. Something happened, some kind of collision occurred, and because of this collision, it was moving and moving. Because of this movement, exactly children, what happened? This Tethys Sea was getting folded and whole sea was converted into mountain ranges. That is why it is called as Yangfold Mountains. Clearly, I will explain you in your chapter 2. So these are different mountain ranges which we are having. We have Kanchenjunga, we have Everest, then we have Mansarovar Lake this side, then we have Kailash ranges. Clear? So from here up to here it is covered with mountains. Now our next point is, south of about 22° north latitude, it begins to taper down. Here it is used for our country, India, and extended towards Indian Ocean. See student, taper down means to slow down. That is my meaning also I have written here. Now let us see the map. See, this is counted as nearly about 22 degree, clear, 20 degree, then up to here, this is 22 degree nearly, clear. From this 22 degree, when we see it is going to taper down, from this side also, from this side also, it is turning in a shape of cone, getting conical, but this side, this is large enough, but from this side, it is going to taper down, okay. Now, on the west side, Arabian Sea, and east side, we have Bay of Bengal. Before also I told you. The latitude and longitudinal extent of the mainland is about 30 degree. See, word about is written, that is not exactly, it is about. Let us see the map. When we see, for example, this is 37 degree 6 minutes, this is 8 degree 4 minutes. Let us subtract it. When we subtract this 37 degree 6 minutes from this 8 degree 4 minutes, answer we are getting, this is 2, this is 17 minus 8, and this should be 2. So 29.2. It is nearly about 30. Okay. In the same way, when we subtract these two, here it is written as 97 degree 25 minutes. Here is written as 68 degree 7 minutes. In the same way, when you subtract these two things, the answer would be nearly about 30. Okay. So in our previous point, the thing was this is about 30 degree. The north-south and the east-west. Okay. Now, but the east and west extent appear to be smaller than the southwest extent. See, again I am telling you, this is not exact thing, but appears. Appears in the sense, ऐसा लगता है. Okay. See this map. This much and this much. So we are thinking that this extent should be smaller, okay, as compared to this one. But this is not like that. Now, from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, there is a time lag of 2 hours. This is very important thing, children. There is a time lag of 2 hours means when we are moving from the western area towards the eastern area, there is a time difference of 2 hours. Okay. Reason is written here because the time along the standard meridian of India, 82 degree 30 minutes east, passing through Mirzapur in UP, is taken as a standard time for the whole country. See, this place, this side, we are having Mirzapur. Clear? When from this area up to this area we move, there is a time lag of 2 hours. Because according to the standard meridian of India, we are having same time. If we are not keeping this line or this time as a standard time, so students, what happened? For each and every place, for each and every state, there is a difference of time. For example, in Madhya Pradesh time would be different, in UP time would be different, in Sikkim time would be different. So according to the standard meridian of India, we have suggested this as a standard time for our whole country. And according to this only, time would be suggested. Now, our second topic is over. We are moving towards our third topic now. India and the world. The Indian landmass has a central location between the East and West Asia. See this. Position of India is here. Okay. These are the western countries of Asian continent and these are the eastern countries of Asian continent. Okay. And our country is lying in between. So we have a central position. The next point is, India is the southward extension of the Asian continent. So for this point, once again same map I am showing you. See, this is position of our country. When we see this whole Asia, our position is southward extension. Understood? We are lying in this southern region. Now, next point is, no other country has a long coastline on the Indian Ocean as India, so that the name given as Indian Ocean after it. See, exactly this question I am telling you students again and again, ask in your paper also, that why this Indian Ocean named as Indian Ocean. So why is it so? Because no other country has a long coastline. See this map? This is all about the coastline. Clear? When we are considering our country's position, we are having the longest coastline in this whole Asia. That is why this Indian Ocean named after our country. And this is supposed to be a proud moment for us also, that this whole ocean named after our country. Next point is, India's contact with the world have continued through ages, but her relationship through the Indian roots are much older than the maritime contact. Exactly students, what happened? Nowadays, we are going from one place to another. This is so easy. With the help of air traveling we can go, any other ship we can go. But that time, all these things were not at all available. So what happened? We were suggesting only land boundaries. Through land routes only, people are coming and people are going to another country. So that was the time period. That is why the world has continued through the ages, but the relationship through the land routes are much more older. Nowadays also we are traveling to another country, but that time we were coming only through the land routes. So these routes were much more older as compared to air routes, as compared to water routes. Then the next point is, the various passes across the mountain in the north have provided passage to the ancient travelers. That time travelers who were coming from this land boundaries, these land boundaries provide them different passages through which they can come to India, they can contact Indian people, and even Indian travelers also move towards other areas. Now, these routes are very helpful in exchange of ideas, commodities since ancient times. Ideas in the sense, students, that time when these travelers were coming, clear? Some other people also come, they were having different kind of ideas with them. In the same way, when our country people moved to another country, they were having those ideas. So exchange of ideas happen, exchange of commodities happen. Commodities in the sense, some of the things which were not belonging to India, they are from some other world. In the same way, some of the things were what other people accepted, that is not their things, they were getting from us. So these were commodities. And nowadays it is so easy that people can exchange ideas also, people can exchange commodities also. But it is taken from ancient people towards our country and our country people to rest of the world. Now the next thing, the ideas of Upanishads and Ramayana. See students, very important thing. Ideas of Upanishads and Ramayana. That is also again from our country. We were having religious culture from the ancient past, and that past rest of the world accepted. Okay, that is in the form of this Upanishads and Ramayana. The stories of Panchatantra, nowadays these comics books are available. In that story of Panchatantra is written. That is again from our ancient culture. Indian numerals, number is given, 0 is given from our own country to rest part of the world. Then the decimal system. We had given decimal system to rest part of the world. See, these are all very prestigious movement for us. Like this Ramayana, these Upanishads, this decimal system, clear? All these things were very important for our country people. And definitely that was a pride movement. Then the spices, silk, garments, that is also taken from India to rest part of the country. We were famous for spices, we were famous for gold, here we were famous for so many things, and that is also from our country to other countries. On the other hand, the influence of Greek sculpture, the architecture style of dome, the minarets from West Asia, that is seen in different parts of our country. See, when we see, not exactly our own country, but like these Mughal emperors, they come to India. So they had come to India with their own style, but that style accepted by Indians. For example, we have Taj Mahal. we have Charminar, we have Qutub Minar. These are the famous things which is given by their culture to our culture, and we had accepted it. Now, India's neighbor. This is our next important point. India has total 28 states and 8 union territories. Before we had 9, but now we have 28 states. Clear? And we have 8 union territories. Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh is the new 2 territories which are formed. India shares its land boundary with Pakistan and Afghanistan. Now for this, children, just go through this map. With Pakistan and Afghanistan, we are sharing our land boundary. In the northwest, China, Tibet, Nepal and Bhutan in the north. Again for this, let us see the map. We have China, Tibet, Nepal and Bhutan. In this northern area, we are having these as our neighbor. In this western area, we are having these 2 as our neighbors. Then we have Myanmar and Bangladesh in the east. This side when we see Bangladesh and Myanmar in the eastern area. So all these countries are our neighbors. Now our next point is, the southern neighbor across the sea consists of 2 island countries, namely Sri Lanka and Maldives. Now when we move towards the southern area, we have Sri Lanka and we have Maldives also. This side we have Maldives also. So these 2 countries are our neighbors in the southern area. Now, Sri Lanka is separated from India by a narrow channel of sea formed by the Palk Strait and the Gulf of Mannar. Let us see map again. Clear? A narrow channel is here, which is separated India from Sri Lanka. This narrow channel is Gulf of Mannar. This is Palk Strait. Okay? India has a strong geographical and historical link with her neighbor. Definitely, when we see, we are having different relations. Geographical relations also. With the help of this map, I already showed you that these are our neighbors, and geographical exchanges we are having with these countries. And we are having historical links also. Through different paths, from sea routes also, from mountain paths also, people are coming towards our country and people are going. The southernmost point of Indian Union, Indira Point, got submerged under the sea water in 2004 during tsunami. So up to here, India's location and India's size, India's neighbor, all the things we had discussed. But some exact points, some very important point that also you have to remember in your mind. And these are the points that the southernmost point of Indian Union, Indira Point, it was submerged. During 2004 when tsunami came, the southernmost point of India named as Indira Point, that was totally submerged under the water body. See, this side we had Indira Point. In 2004 it was submerged. The next thing, before 1947 there were 2 types of states in India. The provinces and the princely state. Exactly, children, these provinces and princely states, these terms I think there in your 8th class history books. Before 1947, we all know condition of India. India was not at all free. We were under colonial rule. So that time exactly what happened, these Britishers, they were ruling upon us, and some of the place that was totally under their control. So that places were called as provinces. And the states which were controlled by the king and the queens of India, that was counted as princely state. Provinces were ruled directly by British officers who were appointed by Viceroy. Viceroy, this term again not new for you. This is, we can say, the head of all the British officers in India. He was the person who was supposed to appoint all the people, and he was the person who had seen all kind of administrative work. So according to this person only, these British officials were appointed in India. So those states were counted as provinces, and the rest part, princely states, which were ruled only by local rulers. Like you have heard Rani of Jhansi, different Nawabs were there, different Maratha rulers were there. Those states were counted as princely states. Okay students, so up to here our lesson is going to be over, and now children, it is your prime responsibility, your duty, just go through these videos carefully and don't stop learning. So best of luck.